Hello and welcome to Hexton Encountered Sports Edition. My name is Joe. Today I'm going to be looking at Pro Strategy Football 23. It was just released earlier this week, and with this being the first week of the 2022 NFL football season, I thought it would be a good time to take a quick look at this game. The designer, Kerry Batts, has been working on this for a few years now. This is the third version, I believe. I have the previous two, 2021 and 2022. Each version has gotten progressively stronger in terms of features and gameplay and so on and so forth. Kerry has been very good about listening to the suggestions and feedback of the people who play the game. And so the game continues to, like I said, it continues to improve every year, which is great for those of us who like and enjoy sports simulation games. This is somewhat in the vein of, say, something like OOTP. Obviously, it's still very early in its progression. OOTP also started out pretty basic, but has grown to be so feature intensive that it's almost mind-boggling how powerful that game is. If you follow me closely, you know I am a massive fan of Out of the Park baseball. If you didn't know what OOTP is. This game, Pro Strategy Football, is in the similar vein in that you can do career play, you can do single season, you can play various teams against each other. There is no NFL license, so you would have to download some mods to get the NFL teams, rosters, logos, all that stuff in there. The game includes the ability to have custom sounds and fields, and you can put the goalposts on the goal line, just like it was pre-73, I believe. And you can have the old H-style goalposts or the modern, more Y-shaped goalposts, things like that. Little neat touches like that. There is a site run by a fellow named Apollo 1980 that has a bunch of mods for this game, and that includes basically every NFL season back to 1940. Plus the USFL and the World Football League from the 80s and 70s respectively. So I am going to quickly show how to set up a single season and just kind of go over some basic stuff with single season and maybe show a little bit of gameplay. I don't want to run this video too long. I will probably do a series of videos that feature this game because it's a very enjoyable game. And also, as you may or may not know, I run an OOTP league called Figment League, which I have as part of kind of a fictional sports universe, which includes a professional football league and a professional hockey league, as well as soon to appear a professional basketball league. And with those, we will have, hopefully, the ability to do online leagues. And Pro Strategy Football is a strong contender to be the football engine for my league at some point in the future. As I said, Kerry continues to add new features to the game. And so hopefully at some point this will truly become the OOTP of football, which is something that a lot of people are looking for. So without further preamble, let's get to it. Single season, create single season. So you'll see a lot of tool tips and things as you go through the game. This is a season league. You can choose any league to build your season on. And so you can download, like I said, a bunch of stuff from the Apollo 1980 Wix site, and I will link that site in the description for this video so that you can go and check it out and download whatever you wish, assuming that you obviously have the game. So you get tool tips like this throughout. So these are the leagues that I actually have in my leagues folder here for this game. And these are just basically templates that have, a league set up, the teams, the logos, the sounds, the rosters, etc., etc. You can see a lot of these are Figment. These were Figment League things that I did in previous versions that you have the ability to actually pull them into the latest version just by putting them in a specific folder in the game's data folder. And so you are able to carry things over from version to version. So some of these actually go back to 2021 and were imported first into 22 and then into 23. So here you see I downloaded the 40s NFL, and it also comes with the AAFC. But if we keep going, we get to the 80s. So 1984, I'm a 49ers fan, so 1984 is a season that is near and dear to my heart because they won the Super Bowl that year over the Dolphins. So I'm going to select that one. I'm going to say, yes, let's do it, because we're just confirming we're loading the 1984 NFL. So it takes a second to do this. We're in. Now we can load a custom schedule so that I can, again, and now this goes into the schedule folder, so you can customize your schedules. It's all based on text files, very easy to edit. We scroll down to the 84 season here. Select that. It'll actually show you the matchups. We're going to select that schedule. Now we have to set our playoff format. So we have all the various formats going back to 1970, the merger between the NFL and AFL. And we also have the ability to do custom playoffs, but we're going to pick the playoffs from the 78 to 89 era. And we're all set. So now we are going to hit start the season. It's going to just give us one last chance to back out. We'll hit yes, and we've created our season. Now, if you do create a season that you either want to ditch or you did something wrong, you want to reset it or whatever, you can easily delete it and start over. It's very easy to do. So here's our main single season, basically the interface for the single season. So you can see things like you can simulate the whole season, you can customize it, which just goes in, basically resets some of the things that you set for the season. You can edit the league, the team's depth charts. You can set which team you want to be the primary team, which would basically be the team maybe that you want to play the games for. And let the AI run the other teams. The AI in this game is pretty good as far as running the correct type of offense and defense and so forth, taking advantage of the strengths and weaknesses, strengths of their own team and the weaknesses of the other team, etc. So you can look at the standings. Obviously, no games have been played. You can see I downloaded from the mod site all the logos and everything for this season as well. And we have a back button here. The back button is always going to be here in the bottom left, basically. We have league leaders. We have injuries. You can export your season data so that you can create reports and so on. So I'm going to pick my favorite team as my team, the 49ers. If you hit Scout, you can look at some of the information on the team, where they played, what the weather's like there, etc. You can go into the team ratings. It'll give you the overall for the team itself, offense, defense, special teams, and specifics about the offense and defense, how good they are in the red zone, for example, 2-minute offense, the ability to win games at home and on the road, etc. There's a lot in here. You can look at coaching. It'll tell you what kind of coaching style, the jerseys they wear, what kind of running, passing, the formations, etc. This game is very in-depth, and every year Kerry adds more and more to it to kind of continue the growth of this basically franchise of games now. We have our depth charts you can look at, right, from Joe Montana and Roger Craig down through, Dwight Clark and the linemen. They all have OVRs. Keith Farnhorst is a 99, which is outstanding, of course. Montana himself, a 93. You can see they're kind of color-coded. The guys that are below average would be this like orangey color. Green means they're good. 93 is an above average, a very good or excellent player, I guess you would say. You can look at the defensive depth chart. You can look at the special teams depth chart, the packages. You can create packages. That basically you get the starters and the bench to begin with, but you can create your own packages as well. So you get the idea. If we go back now and we hit this again, and we say select, that's our team. Now we're done. Now we can look at the schedule for the week, and we see your games at the top, San Francisco at Detroit. So we're playing the Lions in the Silverdome. It's a dome, so we don't have any weather information, but just below it here we have New England at Buffalo at Rich Stadium, 61 degrees, strong wind, moderate rain. Tampa at Chicago, Soldier Field, 60 degrees, blah, blah, blah. Cincinnati at Denver, and so on and so forth, right? So you have the stadium, Soldier Field, Mile High, Lambeau, the Astrodome. We have the Oilers and the Raiders when they were in L.A. The Jets at the Colts in the Hoosier Dome. It's funny because you see the old names for some stadiums, before they changed. Anaheim Stadium, for example, the Metrodome, the Louisiana Superdome. It looks like I see LA and I want to say Los Angeles, but obviously that's the Louisiana Superdome, Giant Stadium, Three Rivers, the Kingdome, and RFK. Now you can do a preview, and what preview will do is it'll bring up kind of like a way to look at the streaks. First game of the season, no streaks. If we run the analyze game here, we get a point spread and an over-under. You get power rankings, which don't mean anything in week one because nobody's played any games, but you can see the overall ratings for offense, defense, special teams for both teams. You can see San Francisco has a sizable advantage in overall compared to the Lions. And you can do this for any game. If we wanted to see, Tampa versus the Bears, you can see the Bears are better. Their defense is obviously very good. And again, it's like power rankings 5 and 8. I think that's just like the standard for this because there's, nobody's played yet. So you have the Bears favored by 7 with an over-under of 32, looking at a defensive struggle most likely. So you have overview. You can look at injuries. Nobody's out. You can compare the teams, and it'll show you their coaches, the coaching style, their offensive emphasis, how they handle their running backs, how, what's the passing look like, setup. Overall rating, what defense do they run, do they play zone or man, do they blitz, etc., etc., and it goes all the way down through a lot of different things here. So you get a very good look at the whole layout here. So another thing you can do is you can sim the games, obviously, right, and then watch highlights afterwards. So if we just hit sim, now you have reveal, which would show us the score, and then highlights, which will let us watch the highlights of the game without actually knowing the outcome, which is really neat. So if we just sim everything here, this would let us then look at games afterwards, after we play our game. We would be able to come back and watch highlights of any game. So if we wanted to, maybe see how Dan Marino did at Washington, then we could watch the highlights of that game, and it would show us, all the scoring plays basically, as well as a couple other maybe key moments in the game. So that's a nice feature. Now the games, as you'll see, we're going to play this game. I'll play a couple series just to keep it short so you can see what the game looks like. It's very retro in its look. This game is not all about graphics, although the graphics are nice. It's very retro. It's very maybe like 1990s looking as far as what you see on the field, but you get the idea of what's going on. This isn't Madden. You're not going to have photorealistic video of players running around out there. This is very much old school looking, but at the same time the engine underneath this is very good, and you get great results out of it. Very realistic feeling results. So as you can see, I'm set for player 1. That's me. The coach is basically you get Bill Walsh and Monty Clark, the actual coaches of the game, so that the teams will play kind of basically the style they played back then. And computer is running Detroit. So you can do all kinds of things here. Look at the comparison of the teams, set up what the goalposts look like, etc. We're just going to go, let's do this, which will start the game, right? We could also look at the rules if we wanted to see what the rules are. And here's where this is the manual, which is built into the game, and you can go through everything. We're talking about custom rules here. So it'll tell you information about that, and you can go into all kinds of things here: formations, personnel, running game, passing game, the routes, etc. Very, very good help, very in-depth, goes through everything really well. Did we freeze here? Well, this game just came out like 3 days ago, so it's possible we've got a bug here. And we'll go to single season. We'll load our league. We'll say resume. Okay, we'll go into schedule week 1. We'll go to coach. And this time I'm just going to go, let's do it. So we're going to play. I'll do casual here. Expert basically lets you set the specific play, the formation, all kinds of stuff. It's really, really nice. But just to kind of show you gameplay, I don't want to really go into like the entire game and strategies and all that stuff. We'll just show you what the gameplay looks like. Okay, so you get the screen again with, basically what we saw a little earlier, where we talk about the two team overalls and their comparisons and so forth. We're just going to skip ahead. I mean, you can look at any of this information at the bottom. I'm going to skip ahead to go. Detroit wins the toss. They've elected to receive. Go. Type of kickoff, if you click on it, you can pick. We're going to go kick deep, of course. Click go. Now we get to see the animation. So as you can see, this is kind of an old look, kind of 1990s, maybe 16-bit-ish kind of graphics, but nice. The sprites are nice and sharp at least, and I think it works really well. So click done. It explains how to call plays. First time playing through, this will show up. We'll hit the thanks. Now we're in casual mode. Okay. If we click this, it'll let us pick what kind of defense we want. So let's just say we're going to stay focused on inside runs. If we click the little hat down here, the Tom Landry style hat, because this game's original is based on the old Tom Landry football. If we click on that, we get, basically it's a menu, but you can sim the quarter, sim the game, switch to expert mode. What we're going to do is we're going to, I'll show you what ask for advice looks like, right? And it'll give you a little bit of coaching advice. Then we'll just close that out and we'll say suggest a play for me. It's looking for a run blitz here. So we're going to go and let it do that. And let's see what we get. So they ran the ball with James Jones and he got a 2-yard gain. So 2nd and 8. We're going to switch this. I'm going to go with a pass defense and we're going to go defend against medium pass and hit go. And he is throwing, and it's caught for a short gain, 6 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2. All right, so let's let Tom call the play here. So it's calling, looking for a middle run. We'll see if it was right. Looking like a pass to me. Got all day to throw, and caught, and that's a big gainer, 14 yards. Okay, let's switch this. I want to go inside run. Go. Incomplete. All right, Danielson looking for Billy Sims, incomplete. I will let the coach call again. He's looking middle run. I actually don't like that call, but I'll let it ride. Because again, he's passing. So we've got a 3rd and 4 coming up. I am going to I'm going to go to a pass defense. I'm going to blitz. Let's bring some pressure, see what happens here. They ran the ball, and he got the 1st down. Penalty on the play. Come on. Offensive holding, we will be accepting that, right? And now we'll just go with a defend long pass. Go. So they completed it, but it was only a 6-yard gain, 4th and 8. And now they're going to punt. We'll go back to receive. And it's down at about the 5. So now you can do auto suggest. It tells you that it doesn't include clock options. You're responsible for managing the clock. All right, so I'm going to come out throwing the ball here. See if we can catch him off guard with him. Oh, sacked in the end zone. That's a safety. Wow. All right, not good. Not good at all. So let's kick. We're going to kick. And they'll get the ball back. And a good return out to the 40. And right back on defense. Big run for Billy Sims. cut them down after a 2-yard gain by Jones. I think they're going to pass this time, so we're going to go with a pass defense. Incomplete. Third down. Oh, second down. Yeah, third down, right. Go with defend medium passes. And incomplete again. So that worked out okay. We're in punting. And again, the Niners are going to be pinned back deep. All right, we learned our lesson on that last time. We're going to run. All right, move the ball a little bit. This time we'll throw. Come on. I wish the taskbar would stay hidden. Montana back to throw, over the middle, that's going to be, oh, it is caught. I thought that was going to end up being incomplete. Pretty big gain there, 27 yards. Let's go back to running the ball. Nothing much there. Okay, 1st and 15. Try a screen pass. Pick up the first down. A nice 18-yard gain. Then we'll go short. Back to the run. Tyler short, 1-yard gain. Not much going on the ground. We got 3rd and 2. Incomplete. We're on the 38-yard line here. So as you can see, it says we have a 32% chance if we chose to kick the field goal, so we're going to go for it. Go with a short pass, and it even tells you, you do realize it's 4th down. Yes, I know, we're going for it. 1st down. All right. That one did not work out. Let's try another run. Roger Craig. Nice run down to the 15 or 16. Run again. Nothing much doing there. No gain. Montana ran the ball that time, 3-yard gain. Now we're going to have to throw here on 3rd and 7. Caught for the touchdown, Mike Wilson. Now we get the extra point coming up. So looks like we had 6 runs, 7 passes. I like the balance. All right, now we get the extra point, and we cannot go for 2 because this is 84, and there was no 2-point conversion in the NFL back then. It's good, so it's now 7-2. All right, so let's kick off. Alvin Hall on the return. Another big return. Special teams not doing all that well on these kickoffs here. 28-yard return. But I'm going to show you, if we're just going to, we'll just sim to the rest, we'll sim the rest of the game. Right? Okay, so now it doesn't even tell us what the score is because we don't know yet. So we could hit reveal, in which case it would show it, or we could hit highlights and it'll show us the highlights of the game. Right, so we know what this one is. This is the safety. So we see the safety. Now it's going to go to the next highlight. This will be the touchdown to Wilson. Okay, now coming up will be things we haven't seen yet, right? So let's just hang on here for a second and see what else went on. So now we got a long field goal attempt for Wersching. That looks like about a 50-yarder. And it is good. Long field goal for Ray Wersching. That'll make it 10-2. It looks like he's trying an even longer one here. This will be a 53-yarder maybe, or 52. Also good. 52-yard field goal, 13-2. Now it looks like the Niners are going to score on Wendell Tyler run, a couple yards for a touchdown. And this is still in the second quarter. Now we got the last play of the half. Montana throwing. Picked off. So an interception there by Bobby Watkins. Another field goal attempt for Wersching. This one about 47 yards, 48 maybe. And he missed it on the 47-yarder. A lot of field goal attempts apparently. Now we're in the third quarter. 23-2. And another pick. And this one looks like it's a pick six. Nope, not a pick six. He gets tackled. So Demetrius Johnson that time picked it off. Now the Lions get a field goal to make it 23-5. And here in the fourth quarter. Another field goal attempt by Wersching. This one looks like it is going to be wide. Maybe. No, it's good. 52 yards and a defensive penalty. 26-5. Incomplete. All right, and another field goal attempt here. Wide right that time. And this looks like this might be the last play of the game here. It's 26-5. That's it. Game over. And if we go to the recap here, San Francisco wins on the road in a blowout. San Francisco routed Detroit. You can go to the stats. Get your team stats here, which you're used to seeing. You know, your typical stuff about your rushing in the yards, how many passing yards, the sacks, etc., etc. Time of possession. You can also go back to look at the play-by-play. Here we have play-by-play. And you can scroll through. If we come in here, I think if you click on the team, yes, you can look at the statistics here. Montana threw for 330 yards. He was also picked off twice. If we swap over to Detroit, we can see that Danielson had a pretty bad game himself, although he did not throw any interceptions. Rushing. Not a whole lot there on the ground, which we knew. Then you look at the receiving yards. so on. So then you can just go back and you're done, back again, now we're out. And you can do the same thing with these other games, right? You can either click reveal, which will show you the final score, and then you can go and view the box score. So New England snuck by the Bills 27-20. You'll get an MVP for the game, Don Blackman of New England. You can also go in and look at highlights. So if we wanted to look at Raiders Oilers, we could click highlights and see the same thing that we just saw with the Raider game. There's Kenny King running for a touchdown. You could also say done. If you want to skip it, you can skip it, say done, and you go back, and it'll tell you what's going on at that point. You can say reveal remaining, and it'll show all the scores. So again, you can go through and watch highlights if you wish, etc., etc. We can also go back to the screen here. We can come in and look at our standings. We can go back. We can look at league leaders. So you can see the passing leaders. You can do it based on yards. You sort by whatever column. See through the most touchdowns. Sort by rating. That's click it twice. You could swap between ascending and descending. You know, typical sorting stuff that we're all very familiar with. So this is basically what you're going to see as far as, you know, looking in your season, playing out weeks, and doing those kind of things. So having said that, I am going to wrap this up. I just wanted to kind of give you an example of what playing a game looks like in the game. That was on casual mode. In the future, I'll do another video and show the expert mode so you can really see what it looks like. And for now, as I said, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, as always. My name is Joe. This has been Hexed Encountered Sports Edition. And until next time, as always, I want to say, happy gaming.